Alrighty, yo, what is going on, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. DDG94, back with another reaction video. Today we're finna react to why WWE in 2017 to 2019 was absolute trash. Hey man, this is when I stopped watching WWE altogether. I rarely kept up with this shit after 2016. After 2016, I was done with wrestling. I didn't care about it. I didn't watch it. I ain't gonna even lie to you, I unsubscribed from the WWE channel, but for some odd reason, this shit kept coming back into my fucking algorithm. It stayed on my algorithm in 2018 and 2019, but when it got to the pandemic year, all of a sudden, WWE started popping back up in my goddamn algorithm, and I never knew why, but it was like, damn, I can't escape this shit. Let me just go in here and see it. It was like, okay, so it was like after WrestleMania, right? Bray Wyatt was the champion. Edge came back. Drew McIntyre was champion. And I came back at the right exact time. Because when I came back, that's when Roman Reigns came back as a fucking heel. And after that, I was hooked. I said, oh shit, they fucking did it. They turned Roman Reigns heel, and he is fucking out here. Because the last thing I remember, because the WWE shit did start popping up in my algorithm, like they was talking about like Roman Reigns backed out of WrestleMania because of the pandemic, and it's understandable because he does have leukemia. He has battles with leukemia. He's beaten it twice at this point. So his body's not really, his immune system is not strong enough to fight off the coronavirus, or damn, why I say that? The vid. So I understood completely, and I was rooting for Roman Reigns at that point. I was like, yeah, bro, if they ain't gonna respect you, like, yeah, bro, I respect his decision to back out of WrestleMania. I wouldn't do it either if I was in a compromised position like he was. So I understood completely. But man, when he came back as a heel, I was hooked. And ever since then, it was just Roman Reigns just being a heel, bro. Cause it was like it's what we wanted with John Cena, but we got it with Roman Reigns, and I was happy. But anyways, though, without further ado, let's get right into it. 2017, 2019, boy, was some ass. Matter of fact, hold on real quick. I think Joe could explain it for us a lot better. Joe, buddy, where you at?
Hear me good, nigga. I'm here to double down. That shit is a 2-pack of ass. The fuck are you talking about? That shit stinks.
I think WWE is going through one of its best ever periods right now. I'm actually excited to watch Raw and SmackDown every week, and WrestleMania this year was just fantastic. For the first time in a long time, the storylines are compelling and make sense, and mostly the right wrestlers are being pushed. And we can see that reflected in the ratings and the attendance levels too. It's a good time to be watching WWE, but it's also very easy to forget when things were bad, and I'd argue that 2017 to 2019 was the worst time in WWE history. I'd argue that it was even worse than the new generation in the mid-90s, and that was a notoriously bad time for the company in terms of creativity. Today, I'm going to revisit as many of the moments as I can that made 2017 to 2019 in WWE almost unwatchable. Rusev debuted in 2014 and had been really popular with the fans, but WWE had been misusing him for years by this point, and this angle was absolutely rock bottom for the poor guy. Lana was Rusev's real-life wife, and she was scripted to have an affair with Bobby Lashley. The angle...
This is when the shit started popping up, and I was like, what are they doing in WWE? Why is Lana with fucking Bobby Lashley? Why? Hold on, bruh. Come on, dog. Dr. Umar would definitely not approve of this. What the fuck was they doing at this time, bruh? Dr. Umar would definitely not approve of this.
Black queens forever, snow bunnies never. I said black queens forever, snow bunnies never. I said black queens forever, snow bunnies never.
I'm saying though, Dr. Umar would not approve of this.
Featured weekly segments of uncomfortable interactions, including Lana and Lashley engaging in over-the-top public displays of affection to taunt Rusev. There was even a mock wedding that ended in chaos, and there were numerous matches where Rusev repeatedly failed to defend his honour. It was such a waste of a fantastically talented wrestler in Rusev, but WWE had a habit of wasting talent during this era. How about the storyline where Jason Jordan was revealed to be Kurt Angle's biological son?
I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon.
You what?
Love of God! For the love of God!
Come on now, dog.
Please!
Come on, man.
Damn!
John in Tennessee, go ahead. What you want to say?
Damn!
Trash, dog. Get the fuck off the airwaves.
Oh, come on.
Hear me and hear me good, nigga. I'm here to double down. That shit is a 2-pack of ass. The fuck are you talking about? That shit stinks.
Whoever came up with this fucking idea right here, I hope you was part of the Vince McMahon scandal, and I hope you got fired.
Yes, African-American wrestler Jason Jordan was supposed to be the illegitimate child of Angle, who was the Raw general manager at the time. The storyline saw Jordan portrayed as an entitled and whiny little bitch, which totally contradicted his previous persona of high-level, overconfident athlete. And as was so often the case at the time, after months of nonsense, the whole thing was just totally dropped without a resolution. After Angle had left the company, he gave an interview where he revealed that the whole storyline was a prank directly from Vince McMahon.
And that's why he's gone. I'm so happy this nigga gone now. I'm so happy this nigga gone now, because we can get back to wrestling, bro. This nigga ran out of ideas and just started taking his aggression out on certain superstars. I don't know why he was doing this around this time. I don't know why he would run his product into the ground like this. But man, I'm happy this man is gone. I'm so happy this man is gone. He had to get up out of here, dog. Matter of fact, hold on, Vince. I got something special for you, brother. That's what you get, Vince.
McMahon had discovered that Angle had dated a couple of black women in his past, and this was his way of making fun of him on television. And the women on the roster didn't get away unscathed either from
Not
this
at all.
ridiculous period of time. In 2017, Bayley and Alexa Bliss were in a feud, which led to Bliss unleashing mind games on Bayley. She set up a surprise on Raw to cause Bayley the ultimate level of embarrassment. Bayley, This Is Your Life ended up being one of the most hated segments in WWE history. Bliss played host and proceeded to mock Bayley verbally before introducing various people supposedly from her past, each of which were trying to embarrass her. The crowd turned on this badly acted segment in record time. It wasn't funny, it was badly acted, and Bliss was clearly out of her depth. Nobody benefited from this mess of an angle, and in fact Bayley came out of it looking 100 times worse. Even the main event was booked terribly during this time. Take the Roman Reigns versus The Undertaker feud from 2017, for example. WWE had been trying...
Well, Undertaker admitted that this was all his fault. Undertaker has admitted that this was all his fault. He said he should have gotten in better shape. He should have took this a little bit more seriously. He didn't give himself enough time to recover and relax and really get his mind and his body right to do this. He just did it for the paycheck, and he hated himself for it. Then he came back and had a squash match with John Cena. because he got himself in shape. But Vince played a prank and said, Cause Triple H, I said Triple H, Undertaker really got in shape because this was the dream match we always wanted as fans. Undertaker versus John Cena at WrestleMania was a fucking dream match. And Vince, this is what, bro, Vince is the problem. The more I think about it, Vince was the fucking problem. Because this was a prank on the Undertaker. He played a prank on the Undertaker. He said, I know you got in shape. I know you chiseled, you're ready to go, you're ready to put on a 5-star classic, but nah, this is just a 2-minute squash match.
You out of pocket, nigga. Fix that shit. Quickly. Expeditiously. Nigga. You out of pocket, nigga. Ain't nobody else gonna say it, nigga. I done said it to you, nigga, and if I see you, I'ma say it in your face, nigga. You out of pocket, nigga.
This is a sick Negro.
I'm saying, bro. Fuck Vince, bro. I'm sorry, bro. But fuck Vince, bro.
Trying to push Reigns as the company's main babyface since 2014, but the fans were having none of it. They had been rejecting him for years by this point. Nobody wanted Roman Reigns as the lead babyface of WWE, and they certainly weren't thrilled at the idea of him being in the main event of WrestleMania 33, especially since he'd already main evented the 2 previous WrestleManias in terrible matches. The whole feud...
Whoa, terrible matches. Now, I'll say the Triple H and Roman Reigns match was not good, but that Brock Lesnar versus... the first one, Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns, that shit was fire. That shit was fire. They was actually, bro, they was going to war, and it was really good. I think people need to really sit down and really watch that match instead of just waiting for Seth Rollins to come in and cash in his Money in the Bank and steal the title. I think y'all need to really watch that match because that was a really good match between the two. I wouldn't say it's their best match out of all the matches they had, but I will say that's definitely in their top 3 for sure. Brock and Roman Reigns. That was definitely a top 3 match by them. Because I'll probably say they SummerSlam match. They SummerSlam match from 2022, I'll probably say is better. Yeah, they SummerSlam match from 2022 is probably the best match they had.
Revolved around whose yard WWE was. Was it the big dog's yard, or was it the Undertaker's yard, because he used to call it his yard 20 years ago? Trust me, it was a limp and uninspiring build-up to that year's WrestleMania main event, but nobody could have predicted how bad the match itself was going to turn out. By this time, The Undertaker was well and truly past it, and on this night, he performed worse than ever, leading this to
this is on the Undertaker. This wasn't on Roman, bro.
Botch fest. It was one of the worst WrestleMania main events in history. It was embarrassing towards The Undertaker, and the apathy towards Roman Reigns reached its peak. But when WWE...
I will say this was mostly on the Undertaker, bro, because Roman Reigns did the best he could with him, bro. Undertaker was sloppy. He was just out of shape. It was clear that Undertaker just wasn't there. Undertaker wasn't the Undertaker that night. Sorry.
We unexpectedly pushed Kofi Kingston in 2019. That felt spectacular. It all began at the Elimination Chamber, where Kofi was a replacement for Mustafa Ali, who was injured. Fans got really behind Kofi, and he ended up facing Daniel Bryan for the WWE title at WrestleMania 35. It was a special moment when Kofi beat Bryan to become the new WWE champion, even during this terrible time.
This low-key brought me back for a second, because I was happy as hell to see him as champion. I was happy as hell. I said, my black brother, we finally got some representation, dog. And I was happy for him, dog. Oh, man, but then the reign itself was just...
new main event superstar had been born. Or so we all thought. Sure, Kofi was given a good few months with the belt, and he had some decent title defences too, but it was never going to last. On an episode of SmackDown in October 2019, Brock Lesnar destroyed him in less than 10 seconds. And so it was back down the card for Kofi, and he'd never main event.
And they never let him get his title back. That's the part that pissed me off the most. Out of all the things you could have did with this, at least let the man get his shot. At least let the man get at least attempt to get his get back. No, you know what they did? They moved on. They said, "Nah, we're gonna move on from this. We don't want to. Nah, we're good here. Squash him, throw him back in the mid card." And this is why Vince needed to go.
Ever again, WWE made a habit of these stop-start pushes, and they were happening all the time during this period. These men would go up to the main event and then go back down to the mid-card. And Lesnar squashing Kofi wasn't an isolated incident. There were loads of times where the legends were booked to beat the younger, more deserving superstars. The Undertaker beat Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania 31. Totally the wrong decision. Bray Wyatt should have won that match. Goldberg squashed Kevin Owens for his title, and Lesnar squashed Samoa Joe. And the favouritism towards Brock Lesnar was sickening to watch too. He won the Universal title in April 2017 and held it for 504 days, and in that time he only defended it on 7 different occasions. He was just never on the show. It just felt like he won the belt and disappeared. Although it must be said that NXT had been a breath of fresh air during this time. This was Triple H's realm. He was doing the booking, and Vince McMahon kept his nose out and never got involved. And so NXT became sort of a safe haven for us proper wrestling fans who wanted to watch wrestling that still made logical sense, and the matches were fantastic too. The only problem was, it was still WWE's developmental territory, and so most of the wrestlers on NXT eventually got called up to the main roster, and that should have been a good thing, but it wasn't. Almost all of our favourite superstars on NXT eventually got called up to Raw and SmackDown and into the grubby hands of Vinnie Mac, who clearly didn't like most of them and didn't know what to do with them. It made it really hard to enjoy those wrestlers on NXT, knowing they were probably going to be ruined in a few months' time. There was one NXT graduate that didn't have this problem, however, and that was Baron Corbin. Corbin was called up from NXT in 2016 and he got an immediate push. He won the Andre the Giant Battle Royal right off the bat. Then in 2017 he won the Money in the Bank contract, and in 2019 he became King of the Ring. But he was at his most insufferable in 2018 when he became Raw's very own policeman, Constable Corbin. It is insane to me that Corbin got the push that he did. They had dozens of better, more charismatic wrestlers on the roster who deserved this spot. He was just total crap. He even got placed in a feud with Roman Reigns, which led to this not so classic moment on an episode of SmackDown. SmackDown and Raw were almost unwatchable during this period. They introduced things like the wildcard rule and the 24/7 championship, which didn't help things at all, but it was mostly the bad booking. We got the same match repeated week after week, and wrestlers would trade wins and losses with each other, so their victories just stopped meaning anything. There was a backstage report on the news sites at the time that Vince McMahon was literally forgetting what he'd booked the week before when he was writing that week's script, and those reports really implied that Vinnie Mac was losing his mind. And this bad booking extended to the premium live events too. WWE made a deal with the Saudi Arabian Sports Authority to bring their show to their shores several times a year over 10 years, and it was a deal that made WWE billions of dollars, but the show still ended up being bankrupt morally and creatively. The greatest Royal Rumble event was marketed as being the biggest and best Royal Rumble ever, and it featured 50 superstars and was won by Braun Strowman, but it didn't replace the actual Royal Rumble event that took place in January, and after the show it was never mentioned again. Crown Jewel in 2018 featured the so-called World Cup, which aimed to crown the best in the world. The finals came down to The Miz and Dolph Ziggler, but The Miz apparently injured his leg, so Shane McMahon, of all people, replaced him. No explanation was given as to why Shane O'Mac inserted himself here over someone more deserving, and he ended up winning his match against Ziggler and was crowned the best in the world and the winner of the World Cup. Even by the standards of the time, this was some senseless booking. What we witnessed between 2017 and 2019 was Vince McMahon entering terminal decline as a wrestling promoter. The man that we once called a genius back in the 1990s had finally completely lost the plot. He'd either completely lost his mind or had just stopped caring.
All I'm gonna say is good riddance to Vince McMahon. I mean, this era was terrible, bro. The only good thing I can say about this era was the Kofi Kingston shit. But outside of that, this shit was terrible, bro. I was really not watching wrestling, bro. I was really on some other shit. I was fucking with hoes. I was just living my life. You know what I'm saying? I had got my own apartment between this time frame. I finally got into my first apartment where I was living by myself, had to take care of myself. Man, I felt so fucking good. Like, bro, wrestling just was not a thing for me at the time. And I'm gonna just keep it real with you. I hate where we were. I just hate where wrestling was at this time. And I wasn't watching it. It was just terrible. It was absolute trash, like the video says it is. And man, thank God for Roman Reigns turning heel, dog. Thank God for them pulling the trigger and turning Roman Reigns heel. Because if that never happens, I think wrestling is the WWE probably wouldn't even be. The WWE would probably be dead right now. Wrestling as a whole would probably be dead right now, if we're being honest. But anyways, that's just gonna about do it for this one. Tell me what y'all think down in the comment section below. I'll get back to you. Till then, peace out.